Hello everyone. Welcome back. Severt is here, coming back with a new series, and this shall be what if Deku had a race. And when I mean a race, I mean Shota Aizawa Quirk, the guy, you know him, the dude with the one that you know him, Shota Aizawa. Why am I talking like this? Anyways, well, now we start our story off with Izuku Midoriya, and he's right now 4 years old, with his mother in the house, getting from his bed and get out of to say good morning to his mother, as he said, "Good morning, mom," as Inko said, "Good morning, Izuku. Get ready because you don't want to get late on your um, kindergarten," as he said, "Okay, mom. Okay, mom." And after they eat food and get ready to get out of the Inko take Izuku into the kindergarten, and she leave him there as she said, "Well, Izuku, have a good day." As Izuku said, "Okay, mom, I will do." As he go inside, and after a little bit, in the free time, Izuku right now just playing, as all of the sudden Bakugo starts getting a little bit of firecracker in his hand, as everyone seeing this saying, "Yo, Bakugo, you had your quirk." As Bakugo said, "Yeah, I have it now, and I'll become the next number one hero." As after that, Izuku looks at him, and once he look at him, Bakugo sparks turn off, as Bakugo said, "What the? Why my sparks are turned off?" As Izuku come to him saying, "Hey, Bakugo, congratulations on getting your quirk." As everyone looks at Izuku with a very weird look. As Izuku said, what's wrong, guys?" As he look at another kid with you know him, the fat kid with the wings. As the kid suddenly, his wings come back to his body, as he said, "What the? Why my wings are gone?" As Izuku said, "What's happening?" As everyone getting away from him. And after that, the teacher come in, and this teacher have a little bit of weird transformation quirk. You can say it just making him looks have a horns in his heads. Yeah, two horns on both sides. As he said, "What's happening, kids?" As after that, Izuku looking at him and said, I don't know. Suddenly, Bakugo had his quirk and it stopped, and that kid also his quirk stopped." As the you know him, the teacher look at Izuku, seeing looking at him, as he said, "What?" As Izuku said, "What is wrong with me?" As after that, the teacher horns come back to his head, as he touching and saying, "Where's my horns?" And after that, they call Izuku mom and the other kid's mom, the two that lost their quirks. As after that, in the principal office, Inko come in saying, "What's wrong with my baby?" As the principal said, Miss Inko, here's Midoriya, you can..." He's sitting there. As she said, "Oh, Izuku," as she stopped and looking at Izuku, as Izuku said, "What's wrong with me, mom?" Sh Suddenly, everyone just start losing their quirks, and everyone looks at me weird. As she said, "Izuku, your eyes." As he said, "What's wrong with my eyes?" As after that, the principal said, "Well, let me show you this kid." As he give Izuku a little mirror, showing Izuku that his green eyes turns red. As he said, "What the? Why my eyes red?" As the principal said, "Well, maybe it's your quirk. Suddenly your hair and your eyes just... your hair turned black and your eyes just turns red for no good reason, but I think it's your quirk." As he said, Miss Inko, can you get your son Izuku back to the hospital? As she said, sure, sure, Principal, Mr. Principal. I will see what's his quirk. As Izuku said, you mean I got my quirk, Mom? As he smiled and said that as Inko said, yeah, Izuku, looks like you developed your quirk. Let's go into the hospital to see what is it. As he said, okay, Mom. And after that, Izuku go with Inko to the hospital. And when he get into the room, it's wait a second. The doctor welcomed Inko and Izuku as he said, ah, Miss Inko, please sit down with your son. As she said, thank you, doctor. Can you tell me what Izuku quirk? As he said, well, can you please tell me what's your quirk, madame? And also your, you know, you know him, your husband quirk, please. As she said, well, my quirk is telekinesis, and my husband is fire breathing. As he said, interesting. Well, can you use it, please? As Inko said, okay. As she start levitating a little cup of water, as the doctor said, well, Izuku, could you look at your mom? As he said, okay. As once Izuku look at his mom, the glass of water get fall out of fall out and break on the ground. As Inko said, what's happened? As the doctor said, as I expected. Looks like your son quirk is called. After making a little bit of tests and things like that, I find out that your son quirk is called Erase. As she said, Erase? What does it do? As the doctor said, well, it's basically what it is, erase. He can erase anyone quirk, no matter what is it. But the drawback for it is that he can't stop it at all. That's why his eyes are right now red. And it's most likely if he continue looking at someone, his quirk will gonna stay erased until he uh, look in another way or stop looking at the guy. But if he stopped looking, the guy quirk will gonna still being erased for at least 2 minutes or 16 seconds. As she said, but how is that possible? I mean, I have telekinesis and his father fire breathing, but erase, as the doctor said, well, it sometime happened, but that's not all. It looks like that Izuku body has got a little bit of an enhancement, which is he can make it even stronger if he trains, and that enhancement is making his body stronger and his reflexes more uh, stronger also. As Izuku said, whoa, is that true? As the doctor said, yeah, Izuku, you have a very great quirk. Imagine all what you can do, making villains stop using their quirks and capture them so easy. As Izuku said, do you think I can become a hero? As the doctor smiled and said, of course you can become a hero. But I suggest you put something on your eyes to not always erase anyone you see in your way. As Izuku said, like what? As the doctor said, well, some sunglasses, I suggest. As Inko said, okay, but isn't there another way to stop his quirk from working? As the doctor said, well, we have the quirk canceling device if you want to put it on your son's hands. As Inko said, no, no, I will gonna take a glasses. As he said, much, much noticed. Oh, and another thing, as Inko said, what is it? well, another thing that I forgot about Izuku quirk, as Izuku said, there is more to my quirk? As the doctor said, yes. There is one other specific thing. As much as you get angrier, your erase become even stronger. As Inku said, you mean much his... What do you mean exactly with that? As the doctor said, well, from the test that I got, it looks like if he get more angrier and angrier, the time of his erasing quirk become more longer. But he can train it. Even if he's not angry, he can train it to become like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, things like that. But I don't know what will happen if he got really angry and he look at someone. For now, it's unnotable what will happen. But you don't have to worry. Just give him a sunglasses and he can come back to his school. As Inko said, thank you, doctor. As Izuku said, well, goodbye, Mr. Doctor. As he said, goodbye, Izuku. And after they leave, Izuku go with his mom to buy sunglasses for his eyes. And the next day, Izuku come back to the school. As he said, come into the class saying, hey, Bakugo. As Bakugo said, get away from me. As Izuku said, what's wrong? As he said, you are the wrong. Your quirk is villainous. I'm not gonna become a friend with villain like you. As Izuku said, what do you mean? I can't even control it. As Bakugo said, well, learn how you control it. If you're gonna erase my quirk every time you look at me, I'm not gonna become your friend. As everyone just looking away from Izuku, he's right now wearing sunglasses to not erase anyone quirk. And after that, from that day, Bakugo left Izuku and didn't become his friend. Sometime he bullied him, but every time he tried to use his quirk, Izuku just... As Bakugo was bullying him sometime, but Izuku just take off his glasses and look at Bakugo and his goons, deleting their quirks for like 2 minutes. And he just start fighting them with hand combats. And Izuku actually trained on his quirk, trying to erase his mom helping him sometime, letting him erase her quirk for some time, and he trained his body and reflexes. And now we cut into the normal day and the last day of middle school. Which is you know him, the teacher opens the door with the papers in his hand. As he said, well, student, this is your last day in middle school and you really should think about your future. And I got a little bit of these are some works that you can work in, like police officer, electricity, and things like this, and a builder. But why should I give everyone one of these papers to fill when I already know that you all want to become heroes? As everyone get excited and start using their quirks, Bakugo and Izuku still not using their quirks. Izuku still wearing his sunglasses. As the teacher said, well, looks like we have 2 students that want to go into UA. First, which is Katsuki Bakugo, as Bakugo jump on the desk saying, Don't put me with these loser teach. If there is anyone that have a chance to get into UA, it will be me. Those extras will gonna be lucky if they become a sidekick to a sidekick of a D-lister. As the teacher said, well, Bakugo, you have a very strong quirk and you might actually make it to UA. And I see that Izuku Midoriya also want to go into A. As everyone looks at Izuku, he's right now doesn't look at them because he don't want to erase their quirks by accident. As Baku said, "You mean this villain? If they, I will be surprised if they didn't catch him and send him to Tartarus the moment they saw him." As Baku go to blow up Izuku's desk, and before his hand get down on the desk, Izuku takes off his sunglasses and open his eyes, revealing a very red bloody eyes like hell, looking at Bakugo directly in his own eyes, which when Bakugo hand hit the desk, it didn't happen anything, as Izuku looking at him angry saying, "Get your hand away from me, Bakugo. If you want to fight, you can fight me outside, but here I'm trying to see I'm trying to read this book, so can you go?" As Bakugo, looking at his eyes, getting a little bit scared as he said, "We will see. They will gonna capture you the moment they saw you. So if you want to stay free and don't go to Tartarus, I think that you better leave. Get the idea out of your head of becoming a hero." As Izuku said, "Whatever," and put the sunglasses again. And after that, the day of school ended. Izuku taking his bag with his book in it, as Baku said, come with his gun saying, "Hey, villain." As Izuku said, "What is it now, Katsuki?" As he said, "You better stop trying to become a hero or go into UA, understand? I am the only one in this school that'll gonna make it into UA." As Izuku said, "Oh, really? Then why are you here? Are you scared of me? Thinking that I might actually beat you?" As he smiled at him, as Baku getting angry saying, "Beat me? You? Yeah, eraser face. We will see who'll gonna beat the other. How about, well, how about that? Let's fight outside. And if I win, you stop going into UA. And if you win, well, what do you want?" As Izuku said, "Well, if I win, you will gonna lick my shoes cleans off. Okay?" As Bakugo looking at him, as he said, "Huh? Okay then, eraser face. Come downstairs and let's fight." As Izuku said, "You already, this is your funeral." As they leave and get outside, the class is the other goon of Bakugo starts screaming everywhere, "Yo, everyone, fight between Izuku Midoriya and Katsuki Bakugo right now!" As everyone getting excited and looking in the playground, as Bakugo start using explosion in his hand, as he said, "Let's see how you gonna defeat me now. I know that you won't even be able to defeat me without your fancy quirk erase." As Izuku said, "Oh, so you think I can't beat you without my quirk?" As Baku said, "Yeah, if it wasn't for your quirk, then you are just a loser." As Izuku said, "Well, why don't you beat me without you using your quirk? If you lost it, is this make you a loser, also a loser?" As Bakugo shut up for a second, and everyone hearing this think, "Ouch, this must hurt." As Bakugo said, "You asshole!" As he start flying at Izuku, throwing explosion, but before that, Izuku takes off his uh, sunglasses and look at Bakugo, which make him fall in his way, falling in front of Izuku, or at least in front of his shoes. As Izuku said, "Well, looks like you lost. Are you gonna lick it off? Are you gonna lick my shoes clean off, or you are just too weak to surrender?" As Bakugo get up and said, "You asshole!" as he throw a punch as Izuku dodging it and throw a punch at his stomach, throwing him, making Bakugo fall on the ground. And then he kick him in his face and throw him on the ground and stand up above him and start punching his face until he make it bloody. As he said, "Come on, Bakugo, why are you in the ground? Are you gonna fight me or what?" As his eyes just beginning to get redder and redder, much bloodier and just more horrible. As the teacher start coming in saying, "Izuku, that's enough." As Izuku looking at him said, "Don't tell me what to do." As he's looking at Izuku right now, his full eyes are just bloody red. As he come back to continue punching his Bakugo on his face until he stopped and said, "If I ever saw you trying to attack me again, I will gonna next time kill you, understand?" As Bakugo let's say, "You villain, you wouldn't do that." As Izuku split on his face saying, "A hero wouldn't bully others. Isn't that right?" As Izuku just get down and take his sunglasses and leave. They get Bakugo into the little nurse office. Izuku right now walking under the bridge because he was late, saying, "Oh, if it wasn't for Bakugo fight, I might be able to get to the house faster, but looks like I need to take a shortcut." As after he got into under the bridge, he takes off his glasses and saying, I really, these glasses are making me not see very good in the dark, and that's what I love when I become alone." As he just moving, and from behind a sludge get out of the little, underground saying, "Hey, kid, give me your body." As Izuku look behind and then look at the sludge villain with a disturbing look, as the sludge villain starts transforming again into a guy. As this guy said, "What did you did to me?" As Izuku said, "Maybe you want to put something on." As the guy looking at himself, he's seeing himself naked. As Izuku gave him his, uh, you know, school uniform to cover himself. And then he said, "What did you do to me, kid?" As Izuku said, "I just erased your quirk." And as Izuku punching him in the face, knocking him out. And after that, from behind him, a very strong voice saying, "Don't fear, for I am here." And Izuku right now has put on his sunglasses again, because he ended up from the sludge villain. As he said, "Oh, All Might, hello. Why are you here?" As All Might said, "Well, young man, did you see a sludge villain right go through here?" As Izuku said, "Oh yeah, here it is." As Izuku pointed at the knocked off guy that he right now on the ground. As All Might said, "This is not the sludge villain." As Izuku said, "No, I just erased his quirk." As All Might said, "Erased his quirk?" Izuku continues saying, "Yeah, but not for long. It's just 16 seconds and he will gonna come back to his sludge form." As once he said that, the sludge villain come back to his sludge form. As he said, "See? I told you." "Well, do you want to put it in the bottle or something?" As All Might said, "Well, if you have a bottle, this will be much appreciated." As Izuku take a water bottle out of his bag and throw the water on the ground and start putting the sludge villain in. As All Might said, "Well, young man, you have a very good quirk. I wish. What do you want to become in the future?" As Izuku said, "Well, I want to." But before he said that, All Might remembered his time limit and said, "Well, sorry, kid, but I need to go." As after that, All Might start to want to get out of there, but Izuku said, "Wait, All Might, I need to ask you something." As he got hold of All Might's leg, and then All Might jump up, seeing Izuku on his leg. His, it sunglasses has been fly off of his face because of the wind pressure, but he closing his eyes right now. As All Might said, "What are you doing, kid? Get out! Get down of my, leave my leg." As Izuku said, I will gonna basically die if I left you." As All Might said, "Oh yes, make sure to not fall." As he go on a building, as All Might said, "That was very dangerous from you, kid. You could have been died." As Izuku said, "Well, sorry, but I needed to ask you something." As All Might said, "Okay, what's this most such an important thing that you need to ask me?" As Izuku said, "Well, it's about my quirk, All Might. My quirk is called Erased. I can erase anything, any quirk in my sight, for a couple of minutes. Right now I can do up to 3 minutes, but I can't stop it, so I want to ask you." As he opened his eyes and looked at All Might, "Do you think uh, one someone with a quirk like me can become a hero?" As once he looked at All Might seeing his red eyes right now in his buff form, as he suddenly smoke wrap around him, and he come back to his small might form. As Izuku said, um, uh, "Shit, my eyes! Where is my sunglasses?" As All Might said, "What did you do, kid? Y- what did you do?" As Izuku said, I just told you, it's erased. I erased your quirk by accident. I can't stop it at all." As All Might said, "Well, it's such an interesting quirk. But," as Izuku said, "wait a minute, why are you in this form?" As All Might said, alright, you already have saw how I de-transform, so I will gonna tell you." As All Might show him the injury, as Izuku said, "Ouch, that must hurt." And after that, he telling him about not one for all, but his injury, and that a villain that attacked him made him get this injury. As after that, Izuku said, "Well, but can you answer my question? I won't ever tell anyone about your secret. I am the best one on keeping secrets." As right now Izuku is opening his eyes, All Might can see very, very good his black hair and the red eyes. As he said, "Well, um, kid, your quirk is interesting, and I actually know a hero that have the same quirk as you." As Izuku said, "Do you mean Eraserhead?" As All Might said, "So you know him? Are you related to him by anyways?" As Izuku said, "No, not at all. I'm not related to him by anyway, but..." Sorry about the interruption, guys. Now we continue. As Izuku said, "No, I'm not related to him by any way. It's just I got lucky and got the same quirk as him." As All Might said, "Well then, if you know that there is a hero named Eraserhead and he have the same quirk as you, why do you think that you can't become a hero? In fact, I think you can become a great hero. Great hero. With a quirk such yours, you might be even better than me." As Izuku said, "Are you serious?" As All Might said, "Yeah, the ability to delete your enemy power is such a great ability. And from what I see, you doesn't seem to have the same side effect as Eraserhead. You seem that you can just blink as much as you want. As Izuku said, yeah, that's actually true. As All Might said, well then, I need to leave. And how much this timing will gonna continue? As Izuku said, I don't really know. I wasn't focusing on how much power I was using. As All Might take a deep breath, saying, anyways, kid, if that's so, I'm gonna leave. As Izuku said, well, let me walk with you, since two of us are right now stuck on the roof. As All Might said, okay, and let me get this villain back. As he started touching his pockets, but he said, the villain, the sludge villain. As Izuku said, what's wrong with it? It's not here. As Izuku said, what do you mean it's not here? As All Might said, it's just he fall off out of my pockets. As suddenly an explosion happened close by. As Izuku said, we need to go there. That must be the sludge villain. As he and All Might start running in. And after that, after getting very close, Izuku seeing Katsuki Bakugo stuck inside the sludge villain. As he said, uh, oh no, it's Bakugo. As All Might said on his side, saying, Midoriya, young man, how much time is left from my timing for your quirk to stop on me? Because I need to go there and save him. As Izuku said, please leave this to me, All Might. As Izuku take a little bit of, a little, what am I saying? You can say an extra sunglasses, because he think that if his sunglasses has broken, he needs something to cover his eyes. As he take it out of his bag and then start moving in front of the heroes. As the hero said, you know him, Death Arm, saying, what are you doing, kid? This is dangerous. As Izuku just continue walking. As the sludge villain saying, kid, what do you want? As Izuku said, leave him go. As the sludge villain saying, wait a minute, you are that kid that deleted my quirk. I'm gonna kill you for this. As Izuku said, well, we will see. As he take off his sunglasses and then opening his eyes, revealing an eyes red as blood. You can say it's like hockey, to be honest with you. It's like hockey. I mean, you can see like a shockwave hitting the sludge villain, but not a really shockwave. You can see just his sludge start falling and things like that, as he suddenly transformed back into a normal man. And all of the people there are surprised by this. This kid literally defeated the villain that the heroes couldn't defeat him by just simply one look out of his eyes. As after that, the hero starts going in to save Bakugo and to capture the villain. As Armstrong said, what did you do, kid? As Izuku put back his sunglasses and said, well, I did what's supposed a real hero to do. Going in, even if I don't have the right quirk, I would have been just tried to take him out by power. As after that, All Might that his right now being affected by Izuku quirk, his time ended, and he starts buffing, and he buff again and go there. As he said, I am here. As he jumped behind Izuku. Izuku looking back saying, oh, All Might. As everyone, the transporter, getting excited as they start surrounding Izuku and All Might. As All Might putting his hand on Izuku left shoulder and said, young man, you have jumped in the action, even if you to save this young boy, even if you didn't now what am I saying? You jumped there into in action to save that young boy, even if you not a hero. Well, as much as it's not legally legally to use your quirk without a hero license, I will gonna let this one slip because you saved the life of someone today. I wish that you will gonna become a hero one day, as this is right now on the news. As Izuku said, thanks All Might. And after that, the transporter coming in front of Izuku saying, "Kid, what's your name and what's your quirk?" As Izuku said, I'm not telling you that. I'm just leaving." As from behind, Bakugo came in screaming, "Oi! Eraser face!" As Izuku looking back, right now he's wearing his sunglasses, or the extra sunglasses, as he said, "I didn't need your help to defeat the villain." As Izuku chuckles saying, "Yeah, right. If you just saw your face, you've been like, oh God, save me. I have still a lots of things to do in my life. I still want to become the next number one hero. Just look around you, Bakugo. All of this destruction are because of your quirk, and you call me a villain." As the transporter is surprised, saying, "That that boy calling you a villain just because of your quirk? And what is it, kid?" As Izuku said, "Yeah, he calling me a villain just because of my quirk. And no, I'm not telling you. So please leave me alone. I need to go. I already being late at on my home. My mom is must right now worried." As Inko in her house watching the news, watching Izuku saving Bakugo and defeating the villain and everything, as she said, "That's my boy." And after that, Izuku leave the heroes, or the transporter and everyone, as he starts walking to his house. After that, um, All Might tried to search for him, but he didn't find him because Izuku didn't take the same path. He take a different one, a shortcut, another shortcut, if you know what I mean. He is much likely going through dark alleys and things like that. As All Might said in his mind, "Where's that kid? I need to see him. Maybe if I give him one for all, it will be a very great uh, com- combo of or fusion or whatever out of his quirk, and one for all, he will be a great hero. But I wish I will gonna see him in the entrance exam of UA." And after that, Izuku come back to his house saying, "Hey mom," as Inko said, "Oh, hello my young hero." As Izuku said, "What do you mean young hero?" As Inko said, "I watched the news." As Izuku getting surprised, saying, uh, "Sorry for getting late." As Inko hugging him and said, see, even if everyone telling you that you are a villain, you are a true hero. I wish that you will never gonna forget that." As Izuku smiled and hugged back his mom, saying, "Thank you, mom." And after that, he go to his bed and take off his sunglasses and go to sleep. And the next day, the 10 month of training begin. And right now, Izuku training to use knives and training his body. As I said in the beginning, his quirk giving him some enhancement. It's like power, speed, agility, enhancement, which is he can train to make it stronger. As he right now can, punch a stone wall and don't get hit, don't get hurt by it. As he also train his quirk with his mom and things like that. After the 10 month of training ended, Izuku go to the entrance exam wearing a black sunglasses and a black t-shirt with the hoodie with with the hoodie jacket to make no one see him. After that, he got into the entrance exam. He didn't get encounter with any nor any girl or something. He didn't get the same encounter with Uraka because he basically didn't see her because of his sunglasses. After that, he do the test good, one of the top 10, not very, you know, very much. But this is not what we are waiting for. We are waiting for the exam, the the entrance exam, the fighting part. As President Mike said, "Well, hello there, student. My name is President Mike, and I shall tell you about the entrance exam for today." As Izuku right now, still wearing his sunglasses and his hoodie on his head, as President Mike explained about 1-pointer, 2-pointer, and 3-pointer. After that, a kid with a blue hair and glasses stand up saying, "Mr. President Mike, can I say something?" As President Mike said, "Yeah, sure, what is it, boy?" As he said, "On this paper, I see there's four robots, but you only talked about 3. If this is a mistake out of you, I am very disappointing." As he turned around and said, "And you, the kid with the sunglasses and the black t-shirt, the black hoodie jacket." As Izuku said, "Oh, me? What's wrong?" As he said, Take down this sunglasses. If you're not taking this seriously, then you better leave. Then how about you take it off or leave?" As Izuku smiled and said, "Okay, you want me to take it off? Fine." As he take his hoodie off, and then get down his, sunglasses, and open his eyes, revealing his bloody red eyes, looking angry at Tenya Ida. As everyone seeing this thing, "Oh my god, I can understand why he wearing sunglasses." As Ida said, as he said, "How about you sit down and let him explain? You just interrupting President Mike while we are just waiting for the entrance exam. If you wasting our time by you standing up and distracting everyone. So sit down." As Ida just sit down. As after that, Izuku put his sunglasses and his hoodie jacket again. As President Mike said, "Well, you kid, you're reminding me of someone. But anyways, I was about to say that the 0-pointer is actually an obstacle and you should just leave it. And well, that's all of it. Okay, student, go out there and kick some asses." As everyone leave, Izuku are now in the examine area A with Uraka and the others. I don't really know who was in the examine area A other than Ida and Uraka. As after that, Izuku looking in front of him, seeing the big door, as he starts walking forward. And from his left, there is a girl that's she mumbling to herself with the brown hair, as he just didn't interact with her or talked at all. He just walked into the gate. And Ida seeing this, he was about to say, "Phew, I was thinking that he was about to harassinate that girl, but looks like he's just was about to go into the door. Good thing that I didn't talk to him. I just doesn't want to see that again." As after that, President Mike opened the door, and Izuku, once the door opened, he didn't wait for the countdown. He just rushed in and take his hoodie off and throw away his sunglasses, revealing to make everyone see his red eyes, and take 2 knives out of his hoodie jacket. As he starts slashing robots left and right with a very good speed. As Ida said, Hey, that kid are cheating. He didn't wait for the countdown. He should be expelled. Or whatever. As President Mike said, what are you waiting for, idiots? That kids have the right idea. Villains won't wait for you to attack them. Go there already. As everyone starts rushing in, Izuku just jumping above robots and cutting their, cutting from behind their heads. They're handed, but things like fuel, what am I saying? Just destroying robots. Sometimes throwing punches, breaking some robots, as he getting a very good score, as in the, you know, the room where all of the teachers are. Yeah, the Aizawa said, this kid is so strong. What is his quirk? As Nezu said, well, how about we see? As they see the files of Izuku on the, you know it. Why am I suddenly just stopped talking? Oh man. Is that the television, the screen? Yes, the screen. As they read his name, Izuku Midoriya. Quirk erase. He can erase anyone quirk for a couple of minutes, and he can't stop it, which is makes his eye red, and he have some enhancement body. And some other information that I already said in the beginning of the video, as Shota Aizawa said, erase. That's explaining why his eyes are red. As Vlad King said, Aizawa, is this your son? As Aizawa said, I don't have a son, you know that. As All Might said, yeah, he's actually right. It's not his son, it's a kid that I met from a couple of days before. As Aizawa said, so that's the kid that you told me about? As All Might said, yeah, he is, but I didn't know that he's very good at using knives and fighting combats. I just thought that he have the same quirk as you. As he said, well, with the point that he have right now, he will gonna get into 1A very easily. And after Izuku cutting some robots left and right, and some fuel fall on his face, he swapped it away. Enemy character moves, anime character moves, and things like that. He see everyone start running, as some of them have a speed quirk, like him, Ida. He suddenly stopped because Izuku looked at him. After that, Ida saying, what the? But he didn't care and continue moving, as he looked as a girl under a rubble, as he said, shit, that's girl. She needs help and those just leaving her. As Izuku starts running at her. The girl are trying to use her quirk to make the rubble float off of her, but she can't sing. Why my quirk aren't working? Why is it doesn't work? As Izuku come closer and said, hold on, as he using his leg breaking the rubble off of her, as she said, thank you, but I can't move my legs. As Izuku said, I know, as he hold her and then run off. And after that, the 0-pointer stopped in his way. As President Mike said, well, students, that's the end of the entrance exam. Come, you will gonna get some letters in the next week. You can all go back to your houses, but Izuku Midoriya, would you please come into the principal office? As Izuku saying, whatever. As everyone just looking at him with his red eyes, as he looking back at them saying, what's wrong? As they all look away, and then he's take another sunglasses of his hoodie jacket, because you don't expect the sunglasses to survive in literally a fighting zone. He made sure that he have an extra one and put his knife again, putting his hoodie and just leave. As Uraka tried to thank him, saying, Thank you, but Izuku interrupting her, saying, "If you want to thank me, then become stronger. If you want to become a hero, you need to save people, not being saved by people." As Uraka gets shocked and Izuku just leave. Into the principal office as he got in, as he said, taking his hoodie off but not his glasses, as he said, "Well, why are you called for my name?" As Principal Nezu said, "Ah, hello, Midoriya. I see that you have a very interesting quirk." As he said, yeah, what about it?" As Miss Principal Nezu said, "Well, someone called for you to want to talk with you, and that's why I called you here." As Izuku said, "Well, who is want to talk with me?" After that, a guy from behind Izuku said, "It's me." As Izuku gets chilled down his spine, saying in his mind, "Where did he come from? I didn't even see him in the room." As he looked behind, saying, "Shota Aizawa," with his... Wait a second. Seeing Shota Aizawa looking at him with the coldest eye that any man could possibly make. As Izuku said, Eraserhead?" As Eraserhead said, "So you know me." "Of course you know me. We have the same quirk after all. Someone like you would want to know if there is anyone have the same quirk as him." As Izuku said, why did you called me here?" As Eraserhead said, "First of all, kid, stop talking like this. I know you. I might be your whatever. What do you think? What do you kids say it? The one that you admire the most, but I want to tell you about your style of fighting, and I'm impressed have you train your body, even if you have a little bit of enhancement quirk, as I read in your files. Even then, that you made a very strong attacks and moves. It seems like you are dancing instead of fighting." As Izuku said, "Thank you, Mr. Aizawa." As Aizawa said, "But I have one question. Why do you still wearing these sunglasses?" As Izuku said, "Well, I will gonna delete anyone quirk if I look at them, but I can't stop it, unlike you." As he said, that makes sense. Why you wearing this? Well, anyways, I want to ask you one thing. Why did you save that girl?" As Izuku said, "Do I need a reason to save someone that's in danger?" As Aizawa smiled and said, "Okay, I understand. If you make it into UA, I'm gonna talk to you about something else." As Izuku said, "Is that all what you want to tell me?" As Shota Aizawa said, "No, someone else want to talk with you." As after that, All Might come into the room saying, "Well, hello there, young man." As Izuku said, "All Might, why are you here?" He's right now in his debuff, Small Might form, because he already told Izuku about it. As he said, "Well, kid, I see your very great quirk and your skills and your very heroic nature of saving a kid that he actually hates you, and the girl that she was about to get crushed by the zero pointer." As Izuku said, "I thank you, All Might, but I doesn't understand why do you just want to tell me that I done good?" As All Might said, "Well, I want to tell you about another thing." As Izuku said, "What is it?" And All Might start explaining about One for All and how the quirk being passed on from generation to generation and blah blah blah, that stupid old talk of All Might of the user will gonna take the quirk and enhanced her and then passed it down. And after that said, do you want to take the quirk? Because I saw how you are a very good hero, and I think that you will be a great one indeed. So, I think that you should take it. As Izuku said, I will gonna think about it, All Might. As All Might said, well, if you think about it, I wish to see you in UA in the next week. You can now leave, because this is all what we want to talk about. As Izuku said, thank you, All Might, thank you, Mr. Aizawa and Principal Nezu, as he leave, wearing his sunglasses. And this is something that I want to ask you guys. Do you want me to give him one for all, or just leaving him on his own power with abilities? Tell me down in the comment below, what do you want? Do you want him to get one for all, or don't get him? Or don't get it? But now we skip into Izuku after 1 week of UA entrance exam. As his mom said, Izuku, your letter from UA has come. As Izuku said, oh, great, where is it? As she gave him the letter, and Izuku go to open it in his room, as he see a device, as he said, is this a projector? As he put it on the desk and pressed on the button, revealing a hologram of Shota Aizawa. As Shota Aizawa said, well, I will make this as fast as possible. You kid has been accepted into UA after getting 85 hero 85 villain point and 20 other of rescuing point for that girl. So you got into the first place in the entrance exam. Congratulations. And now, after you get into UA in the next day, I will gonna talk to you about something. As the hologram stopped, as Izuku said, yes, I got into UA. Oh, I'm waiting for the look at Bakugo face after he's seeing me in the class. And Izuku go back to his bed to sleep for the rest of the night. And this is where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me, how do you think this first part has gone? And of course, remember to tell me if you want me to give Izuku one for all or not. Well, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.